Hello, and welcome to Tenchu Return from Darkness Co-op. So, first things first, we load up the emulator. Let's load up the trainer. Wait for the game to load. Okay, so what you want to do is use the enable trainer tick box to hook the trainer to XMU. So click it and you'll notice that the emulator will briefly freeze. This is perfectly normal. So now we just go to story mode and we just choose our desired character to play co-op with. I'm just going to choose Rikimaru. Let's just choose the first stage. Let's just skip all this. Okay, now we're at the item screen. So one of the features I've added is whatever you choose here will be duplicated to the second player. So let's just wait for this to load. We'll skip the cutscene. So now you'll be greeted with a black screen. This is normal. The game engine is just asking to assign a controller to the second player. So all you do is just press start on the second controller. Okay, and then you can start to play the stage. But there are some things which I've added to make life easier. You see, the game wasn't designed to be played in co-op mode, so a lot of the triggers are tied to the first player, and this includes like the crawl spaces and the doors. So if you want, you can teleport the second player to the first if they get stuck behind a door. And to do this, what you do is you hold the back button and you press the A button, and as you can see, I've just teleported the second player to the first. And you can do this on either the first or the second controllers. And as you can see, I've added some additional quality of life features here. So if you want to make the players invisible, you'll see a bit of smoke and they go invisible. You can make them immortal if you hit God mode, which we're just going to use for this example. So if the second player for some reason dies, you can actually bring them back to life with the revive P2 button, and this is how you do it. So what I like to do is line up with a grappling hook and release and then hit the button, and as you can see, the second player reappears with a ninja rebirth. So sometimes they will die immediately, or other times you have to use the feign death move. If you don't do this, your attacks will not register with the second player. So you can basically do this as many times as you want. So we're just going to continue through the stage. So yeah, as you can see, there's a load of doors we can just zip through and teleport. So another feature which I added to compensate all these loading zones and crawl spaces is automatic teleporting as well, but it's not 100%. So as I go through the crawl space, the second Rikimaru will now teleport briefly, and you can just finish the teleport manually yourself at the other end. 9 times out of 10 this will work, but particularly on this stage, like once you go inside the estate, like the player will fail to teleport inside, so you have to keep trying until you get some success. So we're just going to continue going inside until we get to our first boss. one of the cool things about this game is once you hit a cutscene, the engine will automatically teleport the second player to the first. So let's just get to Jojima and let's just teleport. Let's just skip this cutscene. Let's defeat the boss. So unfortunately, a lot of the logic doesn't work in multiplayer mode. So one of the glitches you'll notice is the boss music is continuing to play, and unfortunately this is the same for some of the other stages in the game as well. Like the cemetery stage, the boss music will just play all the way through. So late in the development of this trainer, I did discover how to turn the single player logic back on to fix a lot of these broken triggers, and I'll explain how to do that in a second. So as you play through the game, unfortunately the second player will have missing graphical elements, like for example the floor will be missing. On the limestone cavern stage, all the wood is missing and the bridge is totally invisible. A lot of new graphical features were added to Return from Darkness, but they are only visible on the first screen. So, as far as I'm aware, there's no soft reset combo to go back to the main menu. So, I've added one myself. So, what you do is you hold the left trigger and you hold the right trigger and then you press the A button, and now the screen will go to full screen. And basically now if you pause, there's this white box sort of here, and if you hit this and press A, it will take you back to the tutorial menu. So you can use this to quit every stage, or if there's like a stage where a trigger is broken. Particularly like Ayame's campaign and Tenchu's campaign, there are a few times where you have to use this trick to go back to the tutorial menu. So now I'm going to turn on single player logic and I will quickly show you the logic working. So let's just go back to Rikimaru, let's just go to skip all this. So we're going back to Echigoya Estate, skipping everything, and if you want to rush bosses, you can use this advanced event button. So we just assign the controller again, and now you notice the FOV is glitched for the second player. So you can fix it by jump slashing, and if you notice, the health bar is only displaying the health for the first player. Now, the second player's health is there, but it's being rendered under the first. So for this example, I'll just attack, and as you can see, it's going down. So this is where I'd recommend using that revive P2 button. And yeah, as I said, if you want to advance the event, all you do is hit this button and it will brute force the game to the next event. But it will not load the background textures, so they're essentially floating on nothing. And quickly, just to show, we'll defeat the boss. And now the music stops. So I gave you the option to basically have single player logic on and off as your preference, because unfortunately a lot of the stages are broken without it. But typically as you play through the stage, all the cutscenes will work, and once you've beaten the stage, the game will just go back to the main menu. and depending on the stage you will sometimes see a result screen. But yeah, hopefully now that's all the knowledge you have to enjoy Tenchu Return from Darkness co-op. Thank you very much for watching, and please let me know if you find any bugs and I'll see if I can fix them. See you later!
There is no escape!